In 1991, two hikers in the Alps stumbled across a body frozen in the ice. They assumed it was a climber who died a few years earlier, maybe a decade at most. They were wrong. By over 5,000 years. What they'd actually found was the oldest, best-preserved human body ever discovered, complete with his clothes, his tools, his last meal still in his stomach, and, as scientists would later prove, the weapon that killed him. This is the story of Ötzi the Iceman, and how a chance discovery turned into one of the most detailed murder investigations in human history. The hikers, a German couple named Helmut and Erika Simon, reported the body to authorities, assuming it was a straightforward recovery. Rescue workers used jackhammers and even ski poles to help chip the body out of the ice, tools that, in hindsight, came dangerously close to damaging one of the most important archaeological finds of the century. It wasn't until an archaeologist named Konrad Spindler examined the body and the tools found beside it that the truth started to emerge. The axe near the body wasn't modern. It was made of copper. And copper axes hadn't been used in Europe for thousands of years. Radiocarbon dating confirmed it. This man had died roughly 5,300 years ago, making him older than Stonehenge, older than the Great Pyramid of Giza. He'd been trapped in ice almost immediately after death, which meant his body, his clothing, and even his internal organs were preserved in extraordinary detail. Scientists nicknamed him Ötzi, after the Ötztal Alps where he was found. And unlike Egyptian mummies, which were deliberately preserved through embalming, Ötzi was preserved completely by accident, flash-frozen by nature and left untouched for over 5 millennia. What makes Ötzi so remarkable isn't just his age, it's how much survived with him. He was wearing a coat stitched from sheep and goat hide, a bearskin hat, and shoes lined with grass for insulation, a design so effective some outdoor brands have since studied it for modern winter boots. He carried a copper axe, a flint knife, and a quiver of arrows. Researchers even found a small pouch attached to his belt containing what's believed to be an early version of a first aid kit, fungus with natural antibiotic and anti-inflammatory properties. In other words, this man wasn't wandering the mountains unprepared. He was equipped like a serious traveler who knew exactly what he was doing. Perhaps the most astonishing detail, scientists were able to examine the contents of his stomach and intestines. They found remains of ibex meat, red deer, einkorn wheat, and traces of bracken fern, likely used to wrap or aid digestion of the meal. This let researchers reconstruct his final hours with almost impossible precision. He had eaten a substantial, fatty meal shortly before he died, suggesting he wasn't simply lost or starving. He knew he was heading into a demanding journey, and he fueled up accordingly. It's the kind of forensic detail you'd expect from a modern criminal investigation, not a death that happened over 5,000 years ago. Ötzi's skin revealed something else researchers didn't expect: 61 tattoos, made of simple line and cross patterns, located on his lower back, knees, and ankles. These weren't decorative in the way we usually think of tattoos today. Their placement lines up almost exactly with areas of joint and back pain, and modern medical scans of his body actually revealed early-stage arthritis in those same spots. Many researchers now believe these tattoos may have been an early form of therapeutic treatment, a kind of Bronze Age acupuncture, thousands of years before acupuncture is traditionally believed to have been developed in Asia. For years, scientists assumed Ötzi had simply frozen to death, caught in a storm high in the mountains. Then, in 2001, 10 years after his discovery, a routine X-ray revealed something everyone had missed: an arrowhead lodged in his left shoulder, still embedded near a major artery. This wasn't an accident. Ötzi had been shot from behind, likely bleeding out within minutes. Further examination revealed defensive wounds on his hands and arms, suggesting a struggle shortly before his death, and traces of blood from at least 4 other people on his weapons and clothing, none of it his own. In other words, Ötzi wasn't a lone traveler caught by bad weather. He may have been fleeing a fight, wounded, and pursued into the mountains, where he finally collapsed and died. As with many dramatic discoveries, rumors spread. Tabloids began reporting on a so-called curse of Ötzi after several people connected to his discovery and study died under unusual or unrelated circumstances over the following years. Scientists and researchers have consistently pointed out this is simple coincidence and confirmation bias. Humans are naturally drawn to patterns, even in random events. What's far more interesting than any curse is what Ötzi actually gave us. His DNA revealed details about Copper Age European ancestry, his stomach revealed the presence of a bacteria still found in humans today, and his equipment rewrote assumptions about how advanced Copper Age toolmaking truly was. Today, Ötzi is kept in a specialized cold chamber at the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Italy, maintained at the exact temperature and humidity of the ice that preserved him for over 5,000 years. Two hikers looking for a shortcut through the Alps ended up finding something that would rewrite our understanding of Copper Age Europe: a man frozen mid-story, with his meal, his medicine, his tools, and even his killer's arrow still intact after 53 centuries. Ötzi didn't just survive the ice. He survived long enough to still be telling us his story, 5,000 years later.